everyone, welcome back to AdieTalk channel. Today we are talking about something big in the news. A bit controversial, but it is about the South Africans' land issue. Elon Musk and Donald Trump have made strong comments about white farmers being treated badly. They are even saying that there is a white genocide in South Africa. Now the question is this claim true? Is it really what is happening? Well, sit tight. Let's break down what is happening, where it all started, and why it is important to talk about this matter. Let's unpack the land reform debate. Now, if you all remember, a long time ago, back in the 16th centuries, European settlers came to South Africa and they slowly took away land from the indigenous African communities, where they have lived off their land, farming, herding, and moving freely, until colonization changed everything in that nation. Now, let's fast forward to 1913. The Native Land Act, which was passed, and this act restricted Black South Africans to just 7% of their land, even though they made up over 80% of South Africans' population. This law made it illegal for Black people to own or even rent land outside certain native reserves. The law didn't just take away land. It was devastating to the South African Blacks. Now, during apartheid, South Africa's official policy of racial segregation between 1948 and 1994, the land issue only got worse. It didn't get anywhere better. And millions of Black South Africans' families were forced off their land, communities were destroyed, and generations were locked out of economic opportunity. And by the time apartheid ended, almost all the land was still owned by white South Africans, who were less than 10% of the population. When apartheid ended in 1994, the new democratic government promised a change and made the land reform a pillar of South Africa's new constitution. Now, here is what the government tried to do. The first was land restitution, returning land to people who can prove it was taken under the apartheid laws. Second was land redistribution, helping Black South Africans to buy land. And the last one was land tenure reform, securing right for people living on land without legal ownership. Now, if we may ask, what was the goal? Well, the plan was to transfer at least 30% of agricultural land to Black South Africans by 2014. But interestingly, by that year, less than 10% of the land had changed hands. Now, if we may ask, what caused the delay? Land is very complicated. There is bureaucracy, lack of funding. There were many legal disputes and concerns about maintaining agricultural productivity. However, let's discuss what sparked this land debate. Well, recently, South Africa passed a new law called the Expropriation Act. This law allows the government to take land from people, sometimes without compensation. And that sometimes, if the land is not being used properly, or if it's needed for public use, which is done in every nation. However, Elon Musk, who was born in South Africa, has been criticizing this law, calling it a genocide against the white farmers who are being targeted and treated unfairly, according to him. Now, here is where it really gets interesting. Donald Trump jumped into the debate and signed a new order saying that the US would stop giving aid to South Africa because of what he calls the mistreatment of white farmers. Very interesting. Mistreatment of white farmers. Wow. What about the black farmers? Well, let's see. But what is really happening? Is South Africa really threatening to kick white people off their land? Or is there more to this story? The South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa, says that the claim is untrue. Instead, he defended the law. He said the government is not trying to steal any land from anybody, being it black or white or whatever. The law is meant to help fix the land problem caused by apartheid. When white people own most of the land, while black South Africans would own just very little. Ramaphosa said the government is merely trying to strike a balance, not targeting any specific race, as people are claiming. Musk and some others have used this term white genocide to describe what they think is happening in South Africa. That they believe that white farmers are being attacked and pushed off of their land. However, here is what we know. We know that crime is a big problem in South Africa. Yes. We know that some farmers have been attacked. Yes. But there is no proof that white farmers are being targeted more than any other race. Crime affects everyone, whether you're black, white, rich, or even poor. The idea of a white genocide that does not match any fact in the surface of the earth. Some people say this land issue is all about race. That is still their claim. But here is the truth and the honest truth. It's mostly about fixing an old system that left millions of black South Africans with practically nothing. It's not about kicking anyone out. It's about sharing the land more fairly in a way that it works for everyone. And we also understand that land is personal. It's how people grow their food, make money, even build homes. And South Africa is in a tough spot. The country needs to fix the land issue from apartheid, but it also needs to make sure that the country stays stable. If the government doesn't handle this carefully, it could hurt the farming industry and even cause even more problems than anticipated. That we agree. However, the real challenge is making sure that the land reform happens without causing more division in the country. While there are some problems with how the government is handling things, the idea of genocide is just a myth. It is not the truth. And the fact doesn't support anything of such. And most experts agree that giving land is the first step, but to make it work, the government needs to provide training for new farmers, regardless of their color. Also provide infrastructure such as good roads, machines, and to support the farmers. Even provide long-term investment for small farmers. Now, what about Elon Musk and Donald Trump? Sure, they have made a lot of noise, but some say they are making things even worse, not anywhere better. They have created fear and not fact. What South Africans really want is justice for all, unity, and better future for everyone. And what you have to understand here is that behind all the politics are real people and real issues that needs to be addressed. The land issue in South Africa is very complicated, we must all agree. It's painful and it's deeply personal. I mean, you can imagine a land that have gone through so much. But it is also a story of resilience, of communities still fighting for their place, and of a country trying to heal past wounds. Farm workers are living on land they have cultivated for generations, but the truth is, do not own it. They came there to find it. Urban families are crammed into overcrowded townships, while vacant land remains everywhere, untouched and nearby. Also, traditional leaders are disputing over who has the right to communal land. The young South Africans are also questioning if they will ever have the opportunity to own a home or a farm in their own country. What is clear here is this: land in South Africa is modern property. It is about history. It is about dignity. It is about belonging. Belonging to a society and equal to everyone. And the fight over land remains one of the country's biggest challenges today and in its quest to true freedom after a long fight of appetite. Now, my viewers, what do you think? Are Musk and Trump right? Or is this about fixing what is broken? Well, I urge you to drop your thoughts in the comment below. If you think this video is helpful, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more talks around Africa. Thanks for watching and stay informed.